Hello everybody, welcome to the first ever episode of Bible Barbecue. I'm your host Logan, and today for Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to be going over the story of David and Goliath. Let's get started. As we prep these burgers for the grill, let's prep the players for the field. In the AFC West, we have Goliath, who is a 6'9" Philistine soldier, and he is probably one of the best. I mean, he's a giant, he can take out whole armies, but he has a problem. He mocks God. In 1 Samuel 17, 4-8, the Bible describes Goliath as a champion named Goliath, who was from Gath. Came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet in his head and wore a coat of scale armor and bronze, weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze gyves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and his iron point weighed 600 shekels. In the NFC East, we have David, a 16-year-old shepherd who was from Israel. These patties are all ready for the grill. It is also worth noting that David was chosen to be the next king of Israel. Now, on this day of the battle, he was sent over to the army to deliver food, of roasted grain and 10 loaves of bread. On the way to deliver food, David hears Goliath yelling, mocking God. In 1 Samuel 17, 8-12, it says, Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? I am not a Philistine. Are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Then the Philistines said, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and the other Israelites were dismayed and terrified. Let's get these guys on the grill. It's also worth noting today we're going to be attempting to make smash burgers. Now David wants to fight Goliath after hearing that. It says in 1 Samuel 17, 32-38, David said to Saul, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul replied, "You are not able to go out and fight against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a young man, and he has been a warrior from his youth." But David said to Saul, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep when a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock. I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who has rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." Saul said to David, "Go, and the Lord be with you." Let's smash these puppies. This is my first time trying these, so don't judge me. Alright, one of them is severely messed up. My bad. Alright, now that we flipped them, let's get the buns on. All right, so we're gonna try to get these guys to about 140 degrees. So David wants to fight Goliath. However, when shown what his options to use, he could match up with the same exact set of stuff that Goliath has. Bronze armor, a big sword, but he says, no. My weaknesses are his strengths. I'm going to use the weapon of God. So with that, we're told that he chose a slingshot, his staff, and 5 smooth stones. When David came to the battle lines, Goliath mocked him for his size. We can see in 1 Samuel 17, 43 to 45, he said to David, am I a dog here that you come to me with sticks? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. Come here, he said, and I'll give you the flesh to the birds and the wild animals. Let's take them off the grill now. Three out of 4, not bad for my first time making these. Now that we have our burger, let's finish the story. David responds to Goliath's mocking by saying, you come against me with a sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. Right after in 1 Samuel 49, it is game on. And it says, reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead and he fell face down on the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. Now here's my interpretation of this. No armor or weapon will ever be as durable or as sharp as the strength of the Spirit. With faith, no matter the size or the skill of the opponent, God will always win. Whether your opponent is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-page math test, or a 6'9" soldier, God will always lead you to victory as long as you believe and trust in him. Instead of David choosing swords and armor, he chose faith as his quarterback. And with it, he won the big game and declared victory to Israel over the Philistines. So as we head off into the big weekend for the game and to the rest of the year, I leave you with one question. Who are you choosing to fight your battles? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Now that's faith grilled to perfection.